Hello and welcome back to the 3 Pixels podcast. I'm your host, Ben Ridley, and in this episode, we're going to be looking at the way that apps are watching you as you use them. Oh yes, you heard me correctly, you're not going to want to miss this episode, so stay tuned and roll the titles. You're tuned in to the 3 Pixels podcast. This episode is produced by Ben Ridley. Before I get into the details of this and really explain what's going on here, I kind of wanted to gauge people's opinions on the thought of this, because I think the thought of it is creepy enough before you dive in to find out what's going on. So I decided to call up some people that I know. You alright?
Yeah, mate, sorry, you rang me. You rang me at a real bad time as well. I was like, oh no. I was literally about to throw some darts. I was like, oh no, hang on.
That's okay, that's totally fine. Did you know that there are apps on your phone that the app developers are watching every single thing you do, like recorded as you use the app?
I had a suspicion, but I thought it'd be some sort of like, almost like, so from a sci-fi film sort of thing, like where your apps probably watch you. That's just disgusting. I don't think realistically you should be recording without my consent at all, especially on my phone, because it's like a breach of privacy, I think, personally. Surely this is not legal. Surely you can't record people's personal data, especially banking.
Hello, Alan.
Hello?
Hi, Alan, you alright?
Yeah, so this is pretty disgusting, especially in a time when we are so heavily trying to be informed about our privacy, and we are now seeing that we're being taken advantage of left, right, and center. So this seems, I don't even know why a company would mess around with this, because we're at that point now where we will completely lose trust in these companies, surely, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, day in, day out, we're seeing these massive companies just riddled with privacy problems, and how long can this keep going on for? And how long are we going to keep using these apps? Like, I don't luckily have any of the ones you've mentioned, but I doubt that's the full list.
No.
So, I don't know, it's a terrifying time, and I guess we just...
Alan, lost for words.
So, I'm a little bit... All right. Have fun.
All right.
Good luck with the episode.
Thank you.
I look forward to listening to it.
So by now, you're probably really interested to know the details about this. You might find that this is not affected to you, or it might not even bother you. This has all really stemmed from a customer experience analytics firm called Glassbox. They are actually one of a handful of companies that allow developers to embed what they call session replay technology into their apps. These session replays let app developers record the screen and play them back to see how its users have interacted with the app and figure out if something didn't work, or of course if there was an error. Every tap, button push, and even keyboard entry is recorded, effectively screenshotted and sent back to the app developers. Glassbox is not a small company, with their customers ranging from hoteliers to travel sites to airlines, cell phone carriers, banks, and even financiers. We're talking Abercrombie & Fitch, Hotels.com, Singapore Airlines, Expedia, big companies which have a lot of customers. Companies capturing your data and use is not a new thing, but when mobile expert The App Analyst wrote about it on his blog, he found that Air Canada's iPhone app wasn't properly masking the session replays when they were sent, exposing passport numbers, credit card data in each replay session. Just weeks earlier, Air Canada said its app had a data breach exposing 20,000 profiles. He told TechCrunch, this lets Air Canada employees and anyone else capable of accessing the screenshot database to see unencrypted credit card and password information. This is really worrying, even though apps that are submitted to the App Store have to have a privacy policy these days. None of them actually mention, hey, we might be recording your screen while you're using it. But don't worry, we're not recording anything else you do outside the app, because that would be wrong. joking aside, we shouldn't just be worried that this is happening right now and we didn't know about it. It's just that if we just let it happen, then what else might be going on that we're not aware of? It's worth thinking about. I'm not saying put on a tinfoil hat. What I am saying is don't assume the best from a lot of these apps and a lot of these companies, especially if they're providing you a service that's for free. Because in a lot of these cases, you are the product. And I'm also going to say, Apple, this is not right. Especially coming from a company who says that privacy is a human right. You have stood against so many privacy issues. However, you let apps in your own app store be really sloppy with theirs. And it's time that that changes. I understand analytics is important. Businesses rely on data, and I understand that. But when there's a chance that people's personal information can be viewed by anyone unsecurely, then that's where the line is crossed. And that's where people will start to distrust companies and apps. I, for one, am not going to be using Air Canada's app anytime soon. I don't think they deserve the business or the data. But anyway, on that note, let me know what you guys think about this topic. How important is this kind of thing to you? And would it actually make you stop using an app if you knew it was going on? So please get in touch. I want to hear your thoughts and opinion on this. I think this is quite a controversial topic. I think people have varying different opinions. So please get in touch and let me know in the usual way. All the information is in the show notes. If there's enough people getting in touch, I might make a separate episode and have a bit of a conversation with you guys. So stay tuned for that. With that, thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to hit subscribe and I'll see you on the next one. You've been listening to the 3 Pixels podcast with Alan Taylor, Martin Gregory, and me, Ben Ridley. Music provided by Epidemic Sound. With that, thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. Good night.
Welcome to the Tesco mobile messaging service. The person you're calling is unable to take your call.
Thanks, Martin.
Please leave your message after the tone.